lost for their favorite team in this game, but the lower fumble of all time, or have really been putting in some work.
Casters will continue to do some damage when they get popped, running for 20 seconds, buying time for this Rebellion team. Uses on the board next. Down goes Ambi. He was playing over by Vending, and Shaiko now taking some damage himself, as does Solitov, but nothing to be found. Surf tucked into a corner where we've seen a couple clutches up to this point. It's now Shaiko over by Longdeath, searching for something with just a little under a minute.
Both Smoke and Tachanka can deny this plant for a very long time. They do take down the Tachanka, but Falcons will still need to press for kills.
There goes one of your denial as the Tachanka dies after getting one kill for Canadian, who's been much better from a fragging potential. Play going down by Bride. Shaiko watching with coverage. Leaky Fact has not been much of a factor yet. A missed opportunity from Spoit as Shaiko finds his second. Now 3 players remain. Spoit a nice shot onto Shaiko. The leash is off, and Spoit can be a wild dog to chase these last players from Falcons. Has to manage time effectively. Wasn't a factor.
Don't really have the util.
Solitov took down Rex in round number 1 and looked very close to happening yet again, but it's Shaiko who's spotted by Surf above. The bees as well, and the Swede looking to get away, playing this tight angle. Oh, Willie surviving for the time being. Rexon's been found and punished. Solitov gets 2 for his troubles. Surf swings on over. That was the Smoke credited with the first kill, looking for the assist. Unless Rexon can be retrieved, that's an advantage for the Birds.
Nice shot by Ambi, though. Gets things back closer to even. Still 3-on-3. The down's finished, and Ambi gets another one. So Shopify Rebellion steal the man count advantage. The Maloo.
Against these fraggers, the front line, as they were called by the DAS. Usis and Leaky Fact now will walk on in, but Canadian will give these calls. Tucked into the corner, Usis will look for a relatively default plant spot. EFAC with 1, Ambi with 3 kills, and it's the Goyo. Long match here, and a quick match after that means you might be right back in action against a terrific team. Ambi will start things off as Solitov dies. Ambi now at 4 kills, 3 of them, all in the previous round, and the youngster is showing up really strong. Spoit and him will now look for the double swing over by Vendings. There goes Leaky Fact. There was nowhere for the Dokkaebi to go, and this round is already fallen by
To go down, you've got to be careful, though. Which one is actually the planter? Already 50% now from Bride.
I think he's got the read on it, and he gets it right as it was about to hit the point of no return, which would have thrown them in to a post plant. Now it's Usis to pick up the case. Shaiko watching the stairs, but Ambi's just so damn good. Usis shuts him down. He's concerned with the sweep up spiral. That's the first kill for Falcons. It comes with 15 seconds left in the round. 4 more players upright, and they're just gonna play keep away. Rexon swings out with the super.
He won just on the server stairs was so clean.
6% opening kill and defender win rate, and then of course winning a hammer with Nip. Shortly before that, a double swing, a nice kill from Solitov. Ambi could not get out with his life intact. He's shut down by Leaky Fact in that.
Will stall out the plant indefinitely if they don't.
Leaky Fact's position is known as he hits that Dread Mine. Down goes Spoit. Canadian Surf will now need to keep this one together. Surf taken out as Shaiko collects 2 very fast kills. Here's alive with 40 seconds left. This is by far and away the slowest round. I do wonder how much of that is a lack of comfort for Falcons, but they found a pick number 1 on the Spoit. Bride shut down. Solitov trades out Ambi again. There you go. Ambi got that pick onto Bride, so only good enough for 1 kill, but again, if you're getting a single kill, that's pretty good. Falcons now attempting to get the diffuser down while they overwhelm this Rebellion team and outnumber them by 1. Solitov does not like this position. Stopped by Surf as that gas will linger. Now it's Rexon taking damage. EFAC going down 2. A sweep in from Canadian as he manages to down 2 players. EFAC and Usis still alive, but the defuse kit needs to be picked up as they are running out of time. Rebellion now hoping that they can't get it done. EFAC runs into the smoke, and the Rebellion will clip the Falcons' wings and take. Their highest is Surf at 78. So not a big difference between bottom and top. An even spread, whereas Falcons, Shaiko's been carrying the way. First kill's
look from the Falcons. They know they can't get a plant down inside of the mid floor as they did attempt previously, so why not clear through this basement and take the fights?
Spoit takes down Solitov, but the guns from Falcons are good! Shaiko will hit kill number 100 at this.
If you're Falcons, you're not out of the woods just yet. Keep in mind, Shopify Rebellion still have in what is a risky move for them for sure, but one that they thought they was
heavily on the basement. At some point, Ambi and Surf will link up with the rest of the team. I get maybe a bit worried here that your two best fraggers are disjointed, but down goes Shaiko at the hands of Surf. Now Ambi has an opportunity on Spiral as well. Not gonna find anything just yet. Canadian gets baited in by LeakyFac. And Solotov has now worked his way up to catch the cross too. This is a great response from Falcons.
Yeah, they've done a great job of grabbing the defuse kit. Now another body for the captain of Falcons. He gets the two-piece and the man advantage now for Falcons. They can hit the site. Spoit's got some smokes to play with, but in the end, without the defuse kit, does it even matter if Spoit gets kills here? I don't think so.
It's going to be a strong position for Spoit to be in, but yeah, you've been limited in numbers. Again, Ambi and Surf still remain, so there is some hope. Ambi holds the defuse kit, and with limited HP, that's a little concerning as there are impacts and nitros still on the board for Falcons. Ambi is tempting fate here, though, and 3 days waiting for him. 3 players in on this active uses with 2 kills. LeakyFac, yet again, another exit kill for the captain. Nothing to do with the operator himself, but a nice bit of lore. It sure looks like Zero's about to get a friend in the game as the new operator reveal will be coming the weekend. Didn't drone it at all. Rebellion getting a little bit too antsy at this point in time, and their lack of information is coming back to bite them. This is why Consulate is known as a defender fortress. And no, I'm not talking about the map we're going to see next. I'm talking about how grim things can get. No, I'm not talking about the operator. I'm talking about how bad things can get for the attackers. So far, a real lack of power from this Rebellion team. Uses tearing through Surf. Spoit manages a desperate kill, but Solotov is there in a massive round for Solotov.
One to meet them, staring into Printer, sees the drone and will likely back off with that information, although hungry for more anyways.
That's a hard gun to control, and Solotov removes Spoit and his head from the round.
Jeez.
A rough go of it. And Rexon, who so far had a lot of troubles finding kills, that will persist. He manages to get Solotov. Solotov and LeakyFac topping Falcons at this point. 35 seconds remain, and LeakyFac is getting called back to the site. Down goes Canadian. Surf dropping uses. Brede eliminating Surf, so the trade still favoring Falcons at this point. Brede's been most of a non-factor from a gun perspective, but you know how good he can be in a clutch. He might not need to clutch up because he's got 2 teammates here hunting for these kills. Rexon and Ambi standing against these European players. Falcons looking for the knockout punch in this round, moving to map point. Rexon will find yet another, but they need to get the diffuser in. Rexon will do just that. He's got all the kills so far. He'll have to suffer through the flames, and he gets knocked off of the spot. It does not...
Of health, he cannot stick the plant. Rexon, there's nothing he can do. Another player who hasn't really been popping from Shopify Rebellion. The glass was banned out, so they can't use that anymore. Still got Canadian on the splits, trying to work with some of the flashes, but it's LeakyFac who strikes first once again for the Falcons.
And the most consistent player is gone. Spoit will join as well. The captain of EFAC finding 2. He's as good as gone. Rexon the lone kill so far. Surf is miles away from the action, as we saw in previous rounds. His job is not to be linked up with the execute, but he's not linked up with anybody, least of all his life. An easy first map for Falcons. They showed a little bit of trouble through the first 3 rounds, but they called the timeout, they course corrected.
It was left up as the decider in their match versus G2, but that was, we'll say that.
I've heard it many, many times.
Yeah, well, listen.
You don't see more of that brand new DMR in hand? You can do some substantial damage. DMR in the hands of uses, though, as it's a double swing from Rebellion. My goodness, EFAC down, Shaiko down, uses taking a beating. Brede left to his own devices, and now it's all up to the Brit of uses in a 1v5. Technically, could have gotten EFAC up, doesn't get the job done. All around a turbo.
Clearing the top floor. They don't want to just go direct. They are in a man disadvantage, or a man advantage, I should say, this time around. So that makes things a little bit nicer for them. But Ambi, a beautiful equalizer coming in through briefing.
Existed in this position for quite a bit of time on that, as Ambi has wisely pointed out. She's an anchor in this bomb site. Spoit is playing her so effectively. Spoit getting active. Down goes Shaiko. The advantage goes back to Rebellion with 35 seconds left on the clock.
Catches him on the bunks brief, and now we see even more of an advantage for Shopify Rebellion. All these players coming north side. Solotov maybe going to tango with Spoit as well, but it's so hard.
LeakyFac and Brede both at just about a single point of HP. If you sneeze, they will be knocked down. So Rebellion looking to catch their breath. A little over 10 seconds left in the round. Falcons need to wander on in. They will do so to their demise. Down goes Brede. EFAC will join the Surf. And now it's all up to Solotov. Will he even give them that opportunity? He tries a beautiful shot from Spoit. And is that just a single through those 2 rounds? And it was at the hands of EFAC previous round. Did not really amount to too much. Surf getting an opportunity on the Capitao. Bride on the board. Falcons are with a minute to go in a much healthier spot than the previous 2 rounds.
Yeah, rare early kill coming out from Bride, trying to open himself up to go for a plant. Gets the drop down now after the Capitao smokes. They have medical. They cleared out Surf earlier thanks to that hatch play, but Spoit has found Shaiko. This wall is something that they'd like to open to go for a plant. The Gone 6 isn't going to do them any good, so they're going to have to run through the door if they can't get it open otherwise.
Spoit 5-0, and he hasn't even really been much of a factor in this round, so there remains an opportunity for him to amass even greater kills as now Bride has found his way in, tucked next to the bomb chassis. Getting Diffuser down inside of waiting. Spoit dies to Leaky Fat. Good coverage so far for Falcons. This Diffuser gets planted right under their nose. Canadian gets a single kill, then gets dropped immediately. Falcons have the upper hand in this post play. Ambi and Rexon hanging on for dear life, battling the clock, battling these players. It's all up to EFAC now. Ambi and Rexon searching for that kill. Rexon gets onto the spot. EFAC compelled into action. He has to shut this down. He has a good opportunity. Ambi swings and shuts him down though. And the youngster will get the kill and the case. Rebellion off to a screaming hot 3-0 start.
Close, but no cigar. Even when man count was early, mute setup inside of medbay was holding vertical angles from inside of office. Licky back up the main stairs will try to go for a swing, but it's Surf who swings first to find Shaiko as the opening pick.
And it's Tape Squad.
Yeah, they track Ambi. He's playing in bathroom. He's got Spoit by his side, so can try to use that as a bit of a bait, but for now just trying to vacate the bathroom, and it's Spoit going for a hunting kill on a Usus.
Bride taking down Canadian. Spoit's only death occurring in the previous round, a round that was won by his teammates. So even if he dies, that's okay, but 6 kills for him, mighty impressive. Ambi strong on map number 1, keeping up with that on map number 2, but shut down by Shaiko, who finds number 2, won't find a third as Rexon punishes him. The 2v2 with Spoit wounded. Bride getting Diffuser down. Solotov watching from afar. They're giving him nothing just yet. Solotov turns around. Spoit with yet another kill. And now the 2 remaining players on Rebellion will look to isolate Bride, who's got the shield put away. Gun barrel out. An advantageous position for Bride should they push from that angle. He will get one, but he turns around. A great pinch by the Rebellion. Spoit with a huge round and an easy disable from SR. Yet again, the timeout not paying off immediately. 4-0 and that's not certain. That's just a hunch. Ambi now involved in early action, as we have been saying so far in this entire series, but it's Surf to get his kill. Surf will find another before Bride shuts him down. Surf was very good on that Thorn in this previous attempt by Falcons to attack this site. They're getting tripped up a lot by the Fenrir. Down goes Bride to Rexon, and things have fallen apart for Falcons. Over a minute to go, and they're just 2 players left.
Surf and Rexon playing around bathroom have been the difference makers. Rexon's still here. You see his silhouette. Solotov knows where he's at too, but Rexon's not giving him anything. Patiently playing in the short hall, knows where this player is at. They finally get the pinch on him, but it took so much time, Parker. They're in briefing. They've got this control of the map. But Canadian, the smoke on the other side is going to be a very difficult thing to move.
Solotov with his very first kill. It comes at a time where they desperately need it. Shaiko on 2 at this point. They'll get a draw on the bandit of Spoit with the perfect pop-up, but Willie wins it. Oh my goodness.
Nah.
Sit down, Solotov. Shaiko with 3 targets to find, and he hears the shotgun blast. What does he do next? He gets Spoit. Could potentially get Canadian next, as that shotgun is pointed at the doorway. This will be tough for Shaiko. Down he goes. Canadian punishes him. And
of the map, Lickyfac all by himself, trying to make something happen to distract for this plant. The logic bombs will try to do so as well as the medbay push comes.
Oh, Shaiko gunned down by Canadian. An honest attempt by Falcons, but Rebellion have just beaten them every single step of the way. Bride inside of Infirmary, now dead. That's not where you want to go. Almost another flawless round. Rebellion, though, with a flaw.
Region, Shopify Rebellion, really nice 5-man bottom floor from Lickyfac. Gets spotted out by Ambi. That didn't do as much as they were hoping.
He'll get a read. Logic bomb will go off. Solotov's a little bit smarter than this. He is not taking the bait. He will allow that call to expire. Ambi meeting uses head-on an opening pick for Falcons as Solotov gets on the board as well. Serve had all the information but could not land the shots. And with the flick of a switch, Rebellion has gone down by 2 players.
Saltov and Uzis, that former M&M duo, doing a great work there on the roam game. Saltov a bit of a bait, as Uzis is the one to really strike first, and Solotov for 2 more right after. Spoit goes down, and this might just be a flawless round from the Falcons.
I mean, you got plenty of time if you're Rebellion. You still got your timeout to boot. Solotov killing everybody inside the server. There's a reason why we call him the Turkish Terror. He's been terrorizing this Rebellion team for the last minute and a half. The quad kill is available as Rexon still remains, but he's the only hope for Rebellion. Solotov had information, a pre-fire on the door, but the bullets go over the head of Rexon. Kudos to Rexon for actually trying this one. They've got him locked down with the yokai. Shaiko will get kill number 1,000 to win. Another death mark. The last one will emerge now for Ambi to use. 10 seconds to go, 9 players still alive. Canadian toying with the warden, uses staying alive. A thorn in the side as Shaiko now gets taken down by Rexon. Down goes Solotov as well. It's all up to Brede. He might get the job done! Taking matters into his own hands. He knocks them off the plant, but he's shut down by the bodies of the Rebellion. And a 7-1 victory sends us to a 3rd map. What a drop!
On the previous map was just devastating in my mind. Falcons, they've had these tough moments. Up against Shopify Rebellion, they'll still have to prove it though. Night Haven Labs, as you mentioned, and this
electrical. You can even put down the shield and frag so effectively as we see clashes do. Canadian will have to call from the bench as he died very early on. Uses will go down to Spoit, who seems to have remembered that he... It's a great call. This Capitao has been very instrumental for Falcons, but it's not really working out all that effectively, at least for the time being. Solotov finds Surf through the wall. Brede on the board as well. The advantage that Rebellion has, completely gone. Spoit and Rexon now playing far, far back, but both of their guns will have ACOG, so they can engage a little more comfortably on these long-range duels, and Brede will understand how hefty damage is done by the DMR of Spoit. Will now freeze the ground in front of him. He was hoping to defang that Grim push. Does not work. Comes a bit belated. Spoit drops. Rexon will have the cut here. Taking down the Capitao. He redeems himself. Spots. He has to tempt Brede over on the window. They will close in on him. Multiple players, but Rexon fragging from this position. Getting them all. Cannot outduel Uzis, so finally his run will end. But he struck fear into the hearts of this Falcons team. Shaiko and Uzis will very quickly need to get into the site and punish these remaining defenders. They are outnumbered 2-1. Here comes Uzis, trapped in the corner as Surf. Shaiko gets him, and now the Brit will attempt a defuse plant with Shaiko to watch. Canadian down below. Nitro Cell tossed up perfectly, blowing the round to smithereens for Falcons. The dustbin, I'd say that's a victory. Uzis getting defuse kit down, and there's chaos inside the site. They know exactly where he is. Surf needs to go quickly, but we get thrust into a post plan as Rexon gets the lead-off pick. The remainder of this round now drops to 45 seconds. As 9 players still alive, Rebellion will need to do the job of disabling, or else this one will go to the Europeans. They get on the board with Solotov taking care of Ambi. Time continuing to run away. Patience is not going to help the Rebellion at this point. They need to get in and start fragging. They're running out of time. Shaiko holding them at bay. The rest of Falcons lined up so far. A very successful post plant. Rexon finds his 2nd kill. Sidearm out with Canadian now going for the counter disable. Can they shut him down in time? From above, Rexon holding court. Canadian might get the job done. He's shut down at the final moment by Brede, and the round is won by the Falcons on time. The clutch minister himself
finds that disable, or the denial of the disable. Wow, what a round coming out from Brede. It's a real...
Be on your gadget, and that's exactly what we saw. Surf got on it a bit too late. Rexon responded, but as you pointed out, seconds making the difference here.
Another early frag from Rexon. What a shot under shot. Aggression in through IT as well. Raptors not really being contested. That's why they get in so quickly, but they want them in Raptors, Parker, because Rexon's got the angle.
We haven't even finished round 4, and Richie is in double digits.
Jesus.
I don't even think he had 10 kills combined across the first 2 maps, and yet here he is, beating every member of Falcons to a pulp. Solitov swinging in, eliminating Rexon and Ambi. That's 2 of the 3 heads of this Hydra of the Rebellion. Canadian drops very quickly thereafter, and the advantage now goes to Falcons.
I don't know how Solitov is existing. He's in surrounded by toxic babes right now. They start to fade as he does still survive. Bride's got the defuse kit still outside the bomb site in connector. Spoit and Surf have 45 seconds to kill. That's too much time, Parker. They've got to either deny this plant or make the flank happen. Surf is not being expected.
And once again, the defuse kit going down. This time, they seem to know it. Spoit gets 2, blowing the round wide open. EFAC will need to pick up the pieces as now he attempts his own plant. Out goes the final toxic babe. Frags will be the way forward for this Falcons team. 20 seconds to go. EFAC squaring himself off, but he knows that Spoit and Surf are coming. Good patience so far from Surf. Another attempt from EFAC. They're going to wait this one out. Plant started at 9 seconds. There is no room for error, and error will not be had. Surf, they've got a huge organization with tons of money backing them. The expectation is that this team will always do well, but yet they haven't met that same level of success. What is happening? 4 people dead, 50 seconds into the round. I mean, they listened to Julio. They went quick, and this round has gone quick. Canadian is the last one standing on Rebellion with 2 minutes still to go. If Solitov can be retrieved, that means Falcons will have 4 still fighting. A Nitro Cell goes out, Solitov confirmed. Canadian tracked by the death mark. Shaiko getting the final kill, and the round is over before it even began. The opening pick on the Clash is oh so important. You do not need to worry about all that info that's going to come. You do not have to fear that late round whatsoever. There might have been some issues with fragging, but not this time around. Solitov walks in, takes no prisoners. Surf and Rexon with 2 of their own. It's all up to Rexon though to clutch. He's been the best player. He just struggles to hit the head of Bride. And we hit
prep work. Once again, that setup from Shopify Rebellion has already been seen a few times at the Six Invitational, and despite the prep work that goes into some of these matches, Eagle Me's, of course, the head analyst for team. Entry point for Shopify Rebellion, how they break through. 5 players alive on both sides. How do they make the space on SR?
Canadian very worried about that Malusi Banshee. Shaiko and Solitov swinging. Ambi the only one on the board. Bride now in on the fun as well. Falcons spreading these kills around, spreading the wealth amongst all of their players. Spoit and Surf find themselves with a heady task awaiting them. What do they do? How do they get into the building? Do they even bother? Surf's found out that he dies to EFAC. A team kill is still very doable, but EFAC will find 2. Spoit gets that previous round, so a good time for them to find their footing. And again, strategically, numbers-wise, Falcons should do better on this side. They do forfeit first. Hot start, he was 10-1. He's come back down to earth, only 1-5 since then. The rest of Rebellion need to show their own powers to match his total. Surf with 1 kill, Rexon traded off, Spoit on the board. And now a big advantage for the North Americans as they continue to trade back and forth. Shaiko up against the world, down goes Ambi, missing out, not expecting Surf so close. They've got the bees, they've got their logic bombs. They will find this as a perfect opportunity to use one of each. With 1:20 gone, Ambi firing away, Shaiko down, Surf traded out shortly thereafter. Losing the Maverick at this point in time might not be the worst operator to have in the ground. Uses 1-7. He's been having a bit of a tough day so far, Jesse. This round, not much better. Rebellion with a small advantage. Solitov has been phenomenal. He and Shaiko now both at 11 kills, joining Rexon, all 3 of them in a 3-way tie for most kills. And with just under a minute to go, Falcons being able to equalize is great.
And you trade things out to a 3v3, mostly full top floor control, but watch out for Bride. He has sat himself inside of servers. Shopify Rebellion might assume they've all fallen off, and they will do so now. So they can try to work with that vert. They can try to work with the advantage that they have, but eventually this plant has to come in, and there's still a Nitro Cell being held on Falcons.
Ambi has surprised these Falcons players twice in a row, and they will pay dearly for it. Bride and EFAC, the last 2 standing. They've got control of Warehouse. They've got control of Rafters. Diffuse Kit in the hands of Canadian. He will trust Rexon and Ambi to watch as he gets ever closer to this bomb site. Running out of time. You will have to go for this diffuse plant. Leaky Fack and Brede will be compelled into action. They have a read inside of the site. Canadian pinged. Nitro Cell goes out. It does not connect. Ambi taking some damage. Canadian still sitting on it like a mother hen. Brede engaging. Ambi with pistol out. He's found every kill so far except for one. Brede gets shut down. A huge round from the youngster. And the
Jump inside a storage and say, hey, let's try to get our plant down, because it's obvious what they were.
From those fire arrows, now out comes the smoke for Spoit, waiting for it to land as he gingerly looks across. Rexon gets punished by Solotov. Rexon is having a bit of a rough go of it after those first triumphant rounds. EFAC now taking some serious damage as Rebellion realize they have to get going. They're at the mercy of the clock. They're at the mercy of this Falcons team. They're at the mercy of just about everything that this bomb site can give them. Ambi vacates the premises as Solotov collects his third kill. No more for him as Ambi takes him down, but very limited time. Falcons attempting to knock them off their stride as Ambi gets another, but it's relatively impactless. Explosive damage as he's now in pursuit of Solotov, who manages to get away. Canadian wise enough to see that there were bullets coming from multiple angles, and Spoit is there for good coverage. Down goes Leaky Fack. Solotov will join him. Falcons suffering through the clock. And there's another Nitro Cell to go out. This one will do some damage to Canadian, but he still remains. A nice attempt from Brede. Rexon taking a beating. Shiko taken down. Brede falls. The Rebellion get out of that one without losing a single player, flawlessly moving us to series point for the North. EFAC down below can be oh so crucial here. Canadian knows a thing or two about expecting a pulse. Time running out, Jesse. Down goes Uzis. Surf will join him. Falcons fighting for their lives. Very limited time left. Canadian getting the plant down. Good coverage so far. Brede comes in. Rexon will need to close this out as the diffuser goes down. Nitro Cell tossed. It secures Canadian. Rexon had a stellar start to this map. He fell off through the mid portion. How does he do now in the dying moments? Getting himself up above the diffuse kit. EFAC will also retake from above, trying to gain as much time as possible for his teammate of Brede to hop on that diffuse kit, which he will do. Rexon now rotating on over. Brede off of the plant. Rexon gets the right call. Now just waiting out the time. Expecting the swing. A good job from Rexon, but EFAC is there, sending us into overtime. He has but a few seconds, but he makes it work. The captain and Frenchman with the Falcon punch to send us to overtime.
They are still playing in Rafters, but they give it up. Won't be able to reinforce that wall. It's taken too quickly by the Falcons, but they strike first. Spoit finds Shiko in the head-to-head matchup to start us in overtime.
Two giants colliding. Spoit playing in EML for long enough. He knows these players. Leaky Fack will trade right back. Looking for more. Solotov will gun down one. Spoit now staring as Surf swings into action. Down goes the Turk on the side of Falcons. Under 30 seconds come down to these gunfights. Brede in particular in a very advantageous position. Rebellion stalling out. They've done almost nothing for 20 seconds. Just being fed into Brede, who sits over top of the case. He uses sweeps through, and now it's series point for the Falcons.
Parker, that's one, but he's got to use these Capital bolts to give himself a little bit of safety too. The rest of Shopify Rebellion are Rafters and IT, so these players need some help.
Candela will go off. EFAC engaging the smart goggles. Down goes Surf. So all the while, the rest of the Falcons players are still responding to this push. You cannot get bogged down if you're the Rebellion, and it doesn't look like that's the case at all. Uzis puts the shield away. 4 consecutive kills for the Rebellion, and a 15th round will be needed. Team every advantage possible.
Ambi on the Aqua Stairs, was able to get that frag, and now they're in a very strong position. Solotov falls next. It's Rexon with the long angle in the TCSG. Canadians in some trouble inside the site. He does go down, Parker, but they still have numbers.
And Brede's still there. This is a tenuous grasp on the site for Falcons. They were able to succeed in a similar position before. Does lightning strike twice. Shiko searching for a kill. He finds Surf, dances around the bullets. Brede getting diffuser down. It looks like history is about to repeat itself, Jesse. They managed to pull it off. Shield goes away from Uzis. Now holding against the Hordes. Rebellion with 3 players ascending the stairs. Rexon goes, Spoit follows. Ambi swept through, and it happens again. An incredible performance as the Falcons soar onward.